Welcome back to Hospitality with the Silver Fox. That's me, Stephen Hickmore. This is where we unpack the trends shaping our industry and, more importantly, what they actually mean for you on the ground in hospitality. So here's a question for you. If you were 18 again today, would you still choose a traditional university degree, or would you choose a skill? So let's talk honestly for a moment, because this might ruffle a few feathers. What are school leavers really looking for today? If we strip it back, really strip it back, it often sounds like this: good money quickly, flexible hours, remote work, a lifestyle that looks good on social media, and perhaps most importantly, success without the grind. Now, before we judge, let's understand where this comes from. This generation has grown up online. They haven't just seen careers, they've watched lifestyles. Influencers flying business class, entrepreneurs working from laptops on beaches, day-in-the-life videos that look effortless. And the data backs this up. Studies show that flexibility in lifestyle are now central to career decisions for young people. Around 75% of young workers want hybrid or flexible work. Remote work is no longer seen as a perk, it's expected. And the traditional 9 to 5? Many simply reject it. They want balance, they want freedom, and they want choice. And frankly, who wouldn't? But here's the problem. The world they're walking into is not the world they've been sold. Because here's the reality. There's no such thing as easy money. There's no such thing as instant success. And remote work is not a lifestyle. It's a privilege earned through skill. Let me give you the uncomfortable truth. You don't start at the top. Most careers begin at the bottom, learning, watching, making mistakes. And increasingly, employers are hiring fewer inexperienced graduates because they require too much training. That means one thing: if you're not work ready, you're not hired. Yes, remote work exists, but global research shows it's highly competitive and skewed towards people with in-demand skills, not beginners. And interestingly, many young workers are actually returning to the office because they realize that's where the learning happens. What you see online is not the full story. Social media is selling a highlight reel. It's edited, it's filtered, and it's curated. Lifestyle expectations are being shaped by social media pressure rather than reality, and that creates a dangerous gap between expectation and the ensuing reality. So here's the message, especially for school leavers. There's nothing wrong with wanting a good life, flexibility and financial success. But you don't start there, you build there. In hospitality, we understand this better than most. You don't become a great chef by watching cooking videos. You don't become a hotel manager by posting about it online. You start in the kitchen, on the floor, in the real world, and you earn your stripes. The danger isn't ambition. The danger is expectation without effort. Because the truth is simple. The lifestyle comes after the work, not before it. And that's a lesson we need to start teaching again. The big shift. Degrees are not the only pathway anymore. For decades, we told young people the same story. Study hard, get a degree, get a job. But that story is starting to crack. Across the world, and very much here in South Africa, we're seeing a shift towards skills-based education. Why? Because employers are asking a very different question today. What can you actually do? Not what degree do you have? So recent research by the Organization for Economic Cooperation, that's the OECD, their data shows that while higher education still improves employment outcomes, the field of study matters enormously, with areas like arts, humanities, and general business often showing weaker employment outcomes compared to more applied fields. And here's the key insight. It's not just education anymore. It's skills plus application. Skills plus application. So, why are trade and vocational qualifications booming? Let me give you some reasons. The first one being speed to employment. Vocational programs are more focused and designed to get people working quickly. They are directly aligned to industry needs. Two, skills gap in the market. In South Africa, especially, there's a clear mismatch. We have graduates, but we don't have enough skilled workers. Employers are struggling to fill roles that require practical work-ready skills, from chefs to technicians to plumbers to electricians. Three, work readiness wins. Vocational graduates often step into jobs faster because they've already done the work. The research shows that young people with vocational training often have higher employment rates early in their careers compared to general education peers. So let's bring this home to hospitality and culinary, because our industry has always been different. You cannot learn to be a chef from a textbook. You cannot learn to manage a complex hospitality operation from a lecture. You learn by doing. That's why the most successful programs today combine classroom learning, practical training, and real-world internships. This is the rise of the applied degree. Degrees that include industry placements, internships, practical modules, and real customer interaction. In hospitality, this is not new. We've been doing it for years. But now, the rest of the world is catching up. We're seeing a new model emerge globally. Study plus work plus experience equals employment and success. These new style degrees are designed differently. You might study 6 months, then work 6 months, or complete internships every year, or even earn while you learn. I know at the Swiss Hotel School, we earn while we learn, with a 6-month internship often overseas. But here's why it matters. Students graduate with a qualification, with work experience, industry connections. They earn some money and perhaps even pay for some of their education, which means they're employable on day one after graduation. Now compare that to a traditional degree where many students graduate with debt, just theory, and no real experience. That gap is becoming impossible to ignore. And let's talk about the elephant in the room as well. Artificial intelligence, AI, is not coming, it's already here. And it's reshaping the job market faster than education systems can keep up. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Jobs that are purely knowledge-based are the most vulnerable. Just think about that for a moment. Basic accounting, administrative roles, some legal work, even parts of marketing. These are becoming increasingly automated. But what about chefs, hospitality managers, service professionals? These roles require human interaction, adaptability, physical execution, emotional intelligence. AI can assist, but it cannot replace. So, let's be honest, and this is where it gets really slightly controversial. Not all degrees are equal. Research shows that employment outcomes vary significantly by field, with some degrees, particularly in arts, humanities, and general studies, having lower employment rates compared to more applied or technical disciplines. The research shows this. It doesn't mean they're not valuable, but it does mean the graduates are not always job ready. And this is the shift. We're moving from education for knowledge to education for capability. And schools and leaders in schools need to recognize that. So what does this mean for a head of school, a career advisor, parents and teachers? This is where the opportunity lies. Stop presenting university as the only success route and start presenting trades, vocational training, and hybrid degrees, and offer them as equal and often better options. Bring industry into education. Internships, workplace exposure, guest speakers, students need to see the real world early. And the focus must be on employability. So ask a simple question. Will this course lead to a job? If the answer is unclear, rethink it. Embrace applied learning, whether it's hospitality, culinary, or others. Learning must include doing. It must include practicing and experiencing, because that's where real education happens. I'll leave you with this. The world no longer rewards what you know. It rewards what you can do with what you know. And in hospitality, we've always understood that. So perhaps the future of education doesn't look only like a lecture hall. It looks more like a kitchen, a hotel floor, a real workplace where learning and doing are one and the same. So this is The Silver Fox. I'm Stephen Hickmore, and I'll see you in the next episode. If you want to know more about the hospitality industry and you want to read some further articles, then go to my blog on hospitality.co.za, and we'll see you soon.